observations again with more time. You probably could have done this all day with all different kinds of materials, different shapes of ice. You can do more of this if you want, or you can do it on your own at home. Not today, but the purpose, as I told you before we started, of today's lesson was to make a plan, but then to synthesize the information from your observations in the article to come up with an explanation, right? So we're trying to explain why this is happening. So who wants to share what they noticed in their observation? I talked to all of you, but let's share out as a group. Tisa, what did you notice?
Ice and water.
Okay, what effect does salt have on ice? So Tison's observation was completely valid. It was something he saw, but let's relate our observations to the focus question. What did you notice when observing the ice interacting with the salt and vice versa? Gautier.
When I put like the smaller salt, well, it kind of like went in the ice and then it started melting.
Okay, so you noticed the finer salt. The fine salt melted the ice.
Goes into the ice. Yeah,
okay.
It melted.
Goes into the ice. What are the other observations?
Oh, yeah.
Mieko.
I noticed that the ice cream salt, it was melting the ice on top of it, and also it was forming craters in the ice.
Okay, so it melted the ice on top of it. What do you mean? Say more.
It did, like what you said, that the sea salt ice went inside and melted. Well, the ice cream one stayed on top and melted it.
Okay, so you're saying the fine salt kind of went into the ice, whereas the rock salt stayed on top, and then the ice just sort of melted right underneath it, forming a crater. So I'm kind of visualizing like the fine salt kind of doing this with the ice, and then the coarse salt kind of doing this. Is that what you saw?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to write that because that was a lot of information, but very interesting. How did that change or add to your thinking about why salt melts ice? What did you read about, Kiana? So the articles talked about how salt melts ice. Okay. Does anyone remember what the explanation was in that article, Caroline?
The part that I read, it was talking about that when salt slowed down the process of the ice growing when it's cold.
Yeah, like that's so salt slowed process of ice growing. So, like, restricting the water from freezing, or like inhibiting the water from freezing. Victoria.
I noticed when I read, it said that salt separates molecules, like pretend they're friends, and then they get separated because ice falls in. So then the ice is sort of like a mountain that separates them, so that it can't turn into the ice.
You mean the salt separates them?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what are the molecules, to get like really advanced here? What are the molecules of water? What makes a water molecule?
Hydrogen and one oxygen. One hydrogen and one oxygen. Two hydrogen. Two hydrogen.
H2O.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So what Victoria really interestingly just said is like these two hydrogen, and I don't know the detailed chemistry of it, but what I hear Victoria saying is that these two hydrogen atoms are friends, and then the ice causes them to separate.
Sodium.
Or the salt. Sorry, thank you. The sodium. Okay, so the salt, which is Cl, I think. Is salt Cl?
This
is wrong.
Na. Sorry, I'm thinking of
Sodium.
I don't know.
Chlorine and sodium.
Na. Okay. Wow, this is like way beyond what I expect you guys to get out of this.
Yeah, see, look.
That's the word
right
Victoria.
here.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's really interesting that Victoria visualized it as friends being separated by this other molecule that's like a mountain. I think that's very astute observation and conclusion. So, what I would like you to do what Victoria did and put all that together, connect the dots, and you can use my sentence frame if you want. Based on my reading and observation, I can conclude, and then Victoria would write a few sentences of what she just said out loud.
Can I write about that?
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. A little bit more simplified version. I think this happened because. And what we're talking about happening is the ice melting. So you might even say, I think the ice melted because. But you have to give a reason.
Can I talk about the food coloring too?
You can talk about whatever you want, as long as it's related to your observations and your reading and your prior knowledge. In this experiment, you can write whatever you want, okay? So, right where you're sitting, take 2 minutes to jot down your thoughts. You can come back in after recess and clean it up if you need to. Okay? Start writing. Go.